You mentioned a thing about your behavior post the event can't be the same as it was prior to the event. And so if we delve into the brain and you look at, and I'm going to have to draw a diagram, so anybody who's driving along, you're probably not going to get this. But if we look at cortisol and it starts to creep up, and then it actually goes up high. It's a hockey curve, hockey stick. And we tend to assume that if we remove that pressure or that insult or whatever it was that we did, then that person's going to go down the same curve. Doesn't happen that way. It actually, it's called chaos theory, and it actually continues high and continues very high, and then will gradually drop off. And you've got to remember that's both from a neurophysiology point of view and also from a psychological point of view. We don't go back down the same pathway that got us there. It hangs around for a while. From a neurological point of view, it hangs around for a brief period of time, a couple of hours. But from a psychological point of view, it can hang around for days, weeks, months, years before that then goes down. I want to repeat what you said is forgive and forget. There's a lot of people will forgive, but if it's an emotional event, the brain actually has a difficult time in actually forgetting it happened.
Which I think is an important distinction too. I think forgiving people is different than forgetting. And especially I'll say from a relational perspective, we do have to get to a place where we're able to, I don't know if forget's the right word, but truly move on. Because I think a lot of times, and I'm going to say this and it might be counter to what some people believe, but I think that, and this is just my personal viewpoint on it, is that people will use forgive and forget. Yeah, I can forgive you, but I won't be able to forget as an excuse to not actually forgive someone. And so that's not what we're talking about here. It's that the brain is wired and those emotions will be triggered, right? But then what you choose to do as you move forward becomes equally as important. And so I would encourage our BrainWise friends, when you are forgiving and you're truly going to forgive someone, you're also in some degree going to show up differently yourself, right? Yep. And so that way, and if something happens and you get triggered, you're not immediately jumping back into screaming, hollering, yelling, or silent treatment or whatever it is, about that situation. You're actually able to go, okay, wait a minute, I'm being triggered, but is it actually happening in today's environment? Is it in my present experience, or is it a trigger from my past? And if it's from the past, then it's your responsibility or our responsibility in that moment to rewire a little bit of what's happening and say, okay, it's actually not happening right now. Give me a moment, whatever the time frame is that you need, and move forward, because it's not the other person's fault that you're being triggered from the past, right? Not your fault either, but it is your responsibility to do something different about it.